I never thought I'd say it, but when I did, it was like something inside me snapped. I don't need you, I said, the words cold and bitter as they left my mouth. I watched his face fall, but I didn't care. Not then. I thought I was strong, in control, and ready to prove to myself that I didn't need anyone. Then he left, without a word, and I was left there, standing in the wreckage of my own pride, realizing far too late just how wrong I had been. This is the story of how I lost the one person who meant everything to me all because of my own foolishness. It started out like any other day. He came home from work, tired but still with that smile that always made my heart flutter. It had been a long week, and we were both feeling the weight of it. But there was something in me that day, a feeling that I couldn't shake. It was like I was trying to prove something to myself, something I still don't fully understand. I had always been independent, maybe to a fault. But that morning, I woke up with a feeling of deep frustration. I was tired of feeling like I needed him. I had been trying to juggle my job, our relationship, my life. And sometimes it felt like I was the only one doing the work. It wasn't that he wasn't trying. He was. But in my head, I convinced myself that I was doing it all. And I wanted to prove that I could stand on my own. So, when he walked in the door that night, I could feel the tension building in my chest. It was like the anger and frustration I had been suppressing for so long came rushing to the surface. "I don't need you," I said. The words came out sharper than I intended, my voice cold, cutting through the silence. He paused, a flicker of confusion crossing his face. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice low, hurt. I looked at him, and I saw it. The shock in his eyes, the hurt that I had just dealt him. But I didn't care. I told myself that I was just being honest, that I was taking control of my life. "I can do this on my own," I said, my voice trembling slightly, but I forced myself to stand tall. "I don't need anyone to take care of me. I don't need you." His face twisted, and for a moment, he just stared at me, as if trying to process the words. And then, without another word, he grabbed his keys, walked to the door, and left. The silence that followed was deafening. It didn't hit me immediately, the weight of what I had just done. I sat there, still in the kitchen, staring at the spot where he had stood. My heart was pounding in my chest, my hands trembling, but I didn't know why. I had wanted to push him away. I had wanted him to see that I was strong enough to stand on my own. But as the minutes ticked by, and I realized he wasn't coming back, a cold panic started creeping in. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. I had pushed him away. I tried calling him, but it went straight to voicemail. I sent text after text, but he didn't respond. The hours stretched on, and I started to feel a sinking pit in my stomach. It was like the world had shifted beneath me, and I was falling into an abyss I had created. I couldn't stop thinking about everything I had said, everything I had done. I had convinced myself that I was in control, but all I had done was drive him away. And now, I was alone with my thoughts, with nothing but regret gnawing at me. The next day was a blur. I spent hours pacing around the apartment, checking my phone, hoping for a message, a sign that he was coming back. But nothing, just an empty silence. I tried to fill the void with work, with distractions, but the emptiness inside me grew. The house felt too big, too quiet without him. The smell of his cologne still lingered in the air, reminding me of the person I had just pushed out of my life. It was then that I realized the truth. I didn't just need him, I wanted him, and not in the way I thought I did. It wasn't about needing someone to take care of me. It was about love. It was about us. We had built something together, and in my foolishness, I had thrown it all away. Days turned into weeks. I called, I texted, I even showed up at his place, but he wouldn't answer. The silence was unbearable. The more I tried to reach out, the more I realized just how deeply I had hurt him. One evening, a week later, I sat on the couch, staring at the empty space beside me. I missed him. I missed the way he would hold me after a long day, The way he would laugh at my silly jokes, the way he made everything feel a little less hard. I thought I was being strong. I thought I was protecting myself. But now I saw the truth. I had been scared. Scared of needing someone. Scared of letting my guard down. And in doing so, I had pushed away the one person who loved me for who I was, flaws and all. The regret consumed me. I wanted to take it all back. I wanted to tell him that I was sorry, that I had been wrong, that I never should have said those words. But I didn't know if he would ever hear me, or if it was too late. Now, as I sit here, looking back on everything, I can't stop thinking about what could have been. I realize now that love isn't about being strong on your own. It's about sharing your life with someone, letting them in, and trusting that they'll be there to catch you when you fall. I've learned the hardest lesson of all, that sometimes, when you push someone away, they might not come back. And when they do, it might be too late. So, to anyone out there who's afraid of letting someone in, take it from me. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't push away the person who loves you, because once they're gone, you might not get a second chance.